Alright, so we're finally in the final stages of prep. I have the heater going just to make sure all the material is warm enough to apply everything. So I went to the store and got myself adhesion promoter as well as primer. Fair warning, these are not what they recommend to use, but it's still the same brand, so I figured it should be fine. I do not want to wait for shipping, and nowhere has what they want nearby. So I went with what I could grab. Should work, as well as a mask, because I do not want to get cancer or have chemical poisoning or none of that. So while I wait for this to heat up the material, I'm going to give it the final wipe down, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so I did finish the final wipe down, which I did not record. I did the adhesive promoter, and I did the first coat, and I did not do second coat because I realized it laid on well enough to not need it, but I did finish the primer. Alright, so it would happen. The day that I decided I want to spray the Raptor liner, I realized, because I didn't do enough research, that my air compressor was too small for what I needed to carry out. So I hit up my homie, and he had an air compressor that he let me use, and without further ado, the liner is finished and it looks so good in my opinion. We got the back seat here, as well as both sides, and of course the trunk. So now I just gotta wait for it all to dry so I can take that tape off and plastic and really see how it looks. Alright, and because I did not record, I have nothing to show for up here for once, so I am crossing off the cabin as well as the trunk. Now all I have to do is take away all of the stuff. And by stuff, I mean all of the plastics as well as all of the tape. So yeah, getting a good look over here, it does look like it did its job very well. If you can see down there, there's absolutely nothing in the holes where the threads are. So I did fall asleep while I was waiting for the heater to keep the materials drying. So it is the next day, and that means that this tape and everything else is going to be a lot harder to take off. These were already giving me a little bit of issue. Alright, so unfortunately my phone died while I was recording me unwrapping all of this stuff, but yeah, here is what it all looks like. I really like how it frames the purple that I left with the edge. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about covering that just because technically I should have taken that out in the first place, but I was too lazy. So yeah, this is what it looks like. So yeah, it turned out really well in my opinion. It just laid pretty nicely. This was only one coat. Technically, I should have brought it all the way up here on this side, but I wasn't paying attention. That side is, this side isn't. Oh well. This is the trunk. The trunk also looks really nice, the way it's all framed. When I was messing with paint stripper months before to paint strip all of the trunk, I did get above everything. So I'll probably respray it with something else. But yeah, some of these don't look great just because I had to tape over stuff. But yeah, this is all what it looks like. Pretty nice. These aren't even, but nobody's gonna check the trunk. It's not a big deal to me. All that matters is that this laid down pretty nicely. And this will do really nice. So yeah, overall I'd give Raptor liner an 8 out of 10, just because it is messier than anything I've had to work with, as you can see. Laid on super thick. This was with gloves on, and replacing my gloves pretty constantly. And the other reason being that it did not come with the fitting I needed. So I needed to go to the hardware store and get one just to be able to use it. It was a last minute thing. I probably should have checked beforehand, but I also didn't realize it wouldn't come with a fitting, which is partly my fault, but also it would have been nice. But yeah, good product, I'd recommend. Overall laid down really nicely. And they do give you instructions on how you want it to be laid. So you could have it more smooth like this, or you could have had it more rough like this side. I was rushing it. Instead of the 2 coats, I did 1. Wanted to mention 3 of them did come a little bit dented. I don't blame them, I blame the shipping company. However, I do have a full one left over as well as a half after doing my entire car. Technically I should have done 2 coats, but I did a heavy 1 coater. But yeah, I'm surprised I still even had 1 left over. I thought I was gonna have to order more, to be honest. So yeah, that concludes the interior for now. I mean, clearly everything else I have to wait until everything else is rebuilt a little bit more. But yeah, this is done with the interior for now.